Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're diving into one of the most insane true crime stories I've ever covered. This one is so wild it feels like a movie plot, but it's 100% real. Meet Aliza Sherman. She was 53 years old, a beloved nurse at the Cleveland Clinic, and most importantly, a devoted mom to 4 grown kids. Aliza was the kind of woman everyone loved, hardworking, kind, always putting her family first. But behind the scenes, her life was falling apart. She was trapped in an absolutely brutal divorce from her husband, Sanford Sherman, who was a doctor. This wasn't just any divorce. It had been dragging on for years, full of nasty accusations, hidden money, fraud claims, the whole mess. Aliza was fighting tooth and nail to get what she deserved after decades of marriage. And the final trial? It was scheduled for March 25th, 2013, one day. That's all that stood between her and possibly starting over, but March 24th, 2013 would become the day she never came home. On that Sunday afternoon, Aliza kissed her family goodbye and told them she was heading downtown Cleveland to meet her divorce attorney, Gregory J. Moore. She said they had to go over some last-minute paperwork before the big court date. Totally normal, right? She was excited, hopeful even. She left her house in her scrubs, drove downtown, parked in a garage near Erie View Plaza, and arrived early, around 3:30 p.m. She walked up to the building, hit the call box to be buzzed in. No answer. She waited and waited. She buzzed again. Still nothing. So she stood outside on the sidewalk, pacing, checking her phone, completely unaware that someone was watching her. Someone who had been waiting for her to show up alone. And in broad daylight, in the middle of downtown Cleveland, that someone made their move. This is where it gets absolutely horrifying. This story is about to go from bad to straight up diabolical. So, Aliza is standing outside her lawyer's office, waiting to be let in. Surveillance cameras catch everything that happens next. A figure in a dark hooded jacket walks up behind her. No hesitation. No words. Just pure violence. This person pulls out a knife and starts stabbing Aliza. Again and again. 11 times. Mostly in the back, neck, and head. The attacks were so forceful that the knife actually bent from the impact. Aliza fought like hell. She was screaming, trying to get away, blood pouring everywhere. Somehow, in the middle of being murdered, she managed to pull out her phone and dial 911 herself. You can hear her on the call, gasping, crying, and begging for help. "I've been stabbed. Please hurry." People nearby heard the screams and ran over. But it was too late. By the time police arrived, Aliza collapsed right there on the sidewalk and died. Just steps away from her lawyer Gregory Moore's office, the hooded attacker vanished, gone like a ghost. And even though there were cameras everywhere, the footage was too grainy. The hoodie hid the face. Nothing clear. The killer got away clean, or so it seemed. Now, here's where it gets suspicious real fast. You'd think her lawyer would be losing his mind, right? Calling the family, showing up at the scene, demanding answers. Nope. Gregory Moore didn't call anyone, didn't check on her, didn't act shocked, nothing. He told police he wasn't even in the building that day. Cool. Cool. Except that turned out to be a lie. Years later, he admitted he lied about his alibi. And in 2017, he actually served 6 months in jail for giving false statements to investigators. 6 months for lying about where he was, the day his client was brutally murdered outside his office. Tell me that's not weird. The red flags didn't stop there. Investigators started digging into the building's surveillance system, and guess what? About 20 minutes of footage from right around the time of the murder gone. Deleted, poof. And the call box voicemails. Aliza had buzzed multiple times trying to get in. Those messages also deleted. Then there were these bizarre timing discrepancies in the remaining footage, differences, measured in seconds that didn't add up unless someone had tampered with the system. Someone with access. Someone who knew exactly which cameras to avoid and which files to erase. Someone like the lawyer who worked in that office. Meanwhile, Aliza's estranged husband, Sanford Sherman, refused to cooperate with police at all, wouldn't answer questions, wouldn't help, nothing. He lawyered up and stayed silent. And get this, he died in 2024, without ever saying a word, but the biggest suspect in the family's eyes from day one. Gregory Moore. The lawyer, the one person Aliza trusted with her future. The one who knew exactly where she'd be that Sunday. The one who never seemed to care that she was dead. The case went completely cold. For over a decade, Aliza's 4 children, especially her daughter Jennifer, held vigils every single year on the anniversary of her murder. They stood outside that same building with signs begging anyone with information to come forward. The story made national news. Dateline did an episode. People across the country were obsessed. But no arrests, no justice, just pain. Until 2021, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation decided to take a fresh look using brand new forensic technology. And that's when everything started to crack wide open. Fast forward to May 2025, after 12 long years of waiting, a secret grand jury finally did what everyone had been praying for. They indicted Gregory J. Moore. Yes, the lawyer, Aliza's own attorney. He was charged with aggravated murder, multiple counts of murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy. Prosecutors say Moore didn't just know about the murder. He orchestrated the whole thing, and he didn't act alone. They say he had at least one unnamed accomplice. The motive cold, calculated, and evil. The divorce trial was happening the next day. Aliza was ready to fight. She had evidence, stuff that could have exposed financial fraud, hidden assets, all kinds of dirt. If she won big, it wouldn't just hurt her husband Sanford, it could have destroyed Gregory Moore too. There were whispers he was involved in some shady financial stuff tied to the case. Maybe he was hiding money for Sanford. Maybe he was in too deep. Whatever it was, Aliza showing up to court was a massive threat. So according to prosecutors, Moore came up with the most diabolical plan imaginable. Make sure Aliza never made it to trial permanently. He allegedly texted her, told her to come to the office on a Sunday when almost no one would be around. He knew she'd show up early. He knew she'd wait outside. And then either he or someone he hired ambushed her in broad daylight and stabbed her to death just to silence her forever. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was a hit ordered by the one person in the world she trusted most, her own lawyer. On May 2nd, 2025, U.S. Marshals kicked down the door in Round Rock, Texas, and arrested Gregory Moore at his dying father's bedside. Yeah. You heard that right? His dad was literally taking his last breaths, and that's when they slapped the cuffs on him. His father died just days later. Moore was extradited back to Ohio, like the criminal he's accused of being. Bond was set at $2 million, and somehow he posted it.